Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be checking out the newest legendary card to come out inside of Clash Royale. Personally, one of my favorite cards that I played so far, and that's going to be the Graveyard. Now, the Graveyard is a 5 elixir legendary card that's unlocked at Spell Valley, so if you guys are above 1400 trophies, this card will be available if you're able to be lucky enough to pull it out of a chest, and the Graveyard goes as follows. It unearths a gang of skeletons anywhere in the arena. Spooky. So pretty much when you play the Graveyard, it's going to cover a circle, a radius of 5, as you can see from that info chart, and inside of that radius, a number of skeletons will appear depending on what level your Graveyard spell is. Now for me, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the Graveyard spell inside of a couple of battles, and starting off, I'm going to be playing against Galadon to show you exactly what it's about, and you can see he's using the Graveyard spell right now, and check out how powerful it is. He has the Hog Rider tanking the tower, and meanwhile the skeletons are doing insane damage on the left-hand lane, and I'm sort of confused. I have my giant skeleton going. I played a rage spell, honestly a terrible play. I should have saved up to play my own Graveyard spell, but just like that, my tower is down to 74 HP, and it showcases just how powerful the Graveyard spell is. Now, not only is it powerful, but honestly I think the animation is really cool. And after playing with it for a long time, it's hard to find a perfect counter to it. It's a really, really strong card. I really enjoy playing it. And let's go ahead and go for an Ice Golem Graveyard push. It's only 7 elixir. And Galadon plays his own Graveyard spell. Now, notice as his skeletons spawn, they keep dying over and over again, because it does take like half a second for them to come out of the ground, and because of that, my skeletons just kept assassinating his over and over again, and just like that, the game is completely even with 2 Graveyard spell pushes. 2 Graveyard spells pushes equaled 2 towers, and that was all she wrote for the very first 2 towers of the game. So an exciting card. Let's go ahead and play a Golem in the back. I love playing a tank followed up by the Graveyard spell, so if you have the Golem, the giant skeleton, the Lava Hound inside of your deck, and you have a Graveyard spell as well, as soon as they reach the other side of the map, similar to a Goblin Barrel play where you have a tank, obviously take the damage from the tower and then play your Graveyard spell. That's how you make it work. And check out my defense. I've got the guards plus a rage spell to speed the tower res up to make sure the towers can assassinate the Graveyard spell, and it works out pretty well. And the Graveyard spell isn't as effective after that first tower goes down, as you can see right there, but now that we have a Golem tanking both of his towers, I've got the Graveyard spell down, I've got the Ice Golem down over and over again. We're going to keep spawning those skeletons. The Princess is a decent counter, but she can't shoot every single one at once, and just like that, Princess is dead. We've already taken the second tower of the game, and even though the beginning was just so tragic, we can go ahead and try to finish him off with a one final push. Alright, Mega Minion's doing work, Golem's doing work as well. My Ice Golem's going to keep running down the lane. His Hog Rider brings my tower all the way down to 607 HP. Another Graveyard spell is going down on the very top. My Fireball as well, and he honestly just cannot contain the little skeletons. One last skeleton headbutting the very top tower will be just enough to knock out the final 54 hit points and give us a 3-crown-to-1 victory. So some really good examples of that right there about how strong the Graveyard spell is and how much fun it is to play. I really feel like it's going to be such a strong card in the meta. Unfortunately, I think it could cause a problem as far as how you actually counter it. Let's say someone brings a Skeleton Army, someone brings a Graveyard spell, Minion Horde, Goblin Barrel. There's just so many cards that bait out your zap, bait out your arrows, bait out your poison spell, and it could serve to be just too strong, but we'll have to see exactly what happens. As Galadon's playing a troll deck, he's got a ton of skeletons. He had the 1 elixir skeletons, he had the Skeleton Army, he had the Wall Breakers, he had the guards, and as soon as he played that, I knew he was playing some sort of troll deck. Now, notice as my Lava Hound reaches the tower, the skeletons in the Graveyard are doing as much as they can. The poison spell doesn't kill them in one tick, so it's not even that effective of a counter as my Lava Hound keeps exploding away and doing damage to that tower. As soon as those pups come out, they're going to do some decent damage as well. And his Graveyard spell goes down on his side of the map, trying to tank my lava pups, and it's actually going to be pretty successful of keeping some of them away from that side. Now, meanwhile, look at all of those skeletons. I have to do something to counter them. I played my Lava Hound instead. I was getting greedy, and I didn't even focus on his side of the map. So many skeletons coming at me, I don't even know what to do, and just like that, my tower is going to go all the way down. It might even die right here, and it's going to be just a single hit away at 102 HP, but meanwhile, down the left-hand lane, he has nothing that can counter my air troops. I feel like he just went for an all-skeleton troll deck. There's the final card inside of his deck, which is the giant skeleton. Honestly, at this point, I don't even care. I'm going to play my Graveyard spell as soon as the towers lock onto my Lava Hound. Rage spell is going down as well, and just like that, check out the skeletons. They're going to lock onto the tower, and with the Rage spell that's only 2 elixir, they beat that tower down like butter. And that's going to be a 3-crown-to-0 victory, even though his giant skeleton was just about to destroy the tower on my side of the map. So, really fun battles. using the graveyard spell. It's just such a hilarious card to use. I'm going to keep playing some different decks with it against Galadon. And by the way, he posted a video on his channel playing some decks against me. We played for a while. I even used the expo inside of his video, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free to check it out. It's in the description below. Let's go ahead and play a Golem for this deck. And again, we're going to do that tank strategy that we've kept playing over and over again. Now, the Furnace honestly feels pretty strong against the graveyard spell because it just keeps spawning him over and over again. But the Fire Spirits can be pretty rough sometimes to try to target all the skeletons at a single time, because if the Fire Spirits only hit one skeleton at a time, it ends up being pretty bad for them. I'm going to go ahead and rage the Golem as well as the minions and the goblins. One minion will end up living and then eventually die, I think, to the AoE from the wizard right there. Tower's down to 1500 HP. And now we've got to play some defense. All right, so my least favorite play in the game is trying to surround the wizard with skeletons. We missed the timing right there, so that means we're going to take maybe 3 shots against my tower. Not the best play I've ever made. But again, Furnace is going to be running down the lane. Let's go ahead and set up another push and to see if we can get our graveyard going down on his side of the map. So you can see he played the graveyard on defense, and honestly, you can play the graveyard on defense fairly effectively. It actually works out pretty decent if you play it against the right combination of troops. If you play it against someone who's playing like an Inferno Dragon, even the Mega Minion like this, just something to keep those troops distracted, it actually ends up being pretty strong, and then maybe I can show you guys that a little bit later in this battle. All right, now he logged my Golem. Definitely a little bit strange. I threw out a wow. Let's go ahead and get my graveyard spell going down right as my Golem reaches his side of the map. The Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to be there, but take a look as the Mini P.E.K.K.A switches to one of the skeletons, giving my Golem a chance to get near the furnace and explode. And check out the rage spell and the absolute destruction of the graveyard. Such a deadly combo with the rage spell in the graveyard, making those skeletons headbutt the tower over and over again, bringing it to its ultimate demise and giving me the very first tower of the game. All right, things are looking amazing right now. His Fire Spirits just made his way to my side of the map. I'm going to drop some skeletons and my minions, honestly, a little bit late on the deployment, so the Fire Spirits will end up killing them. Now I'll play a Golem on the left-hand side of the map, and he's got the Wizard. He's got a couple of Fire Spirits that are still coming down the lane, but check out what I'm going to do on defense. That Wizard, although it is pretty quick, and by the way, he did just activate my tower with the graveyard spell. You got to be careful of that. Take a look at my graveyard spell. His wizard cannot get freed from all those skeletons running into his face. The wizard dies in like half a second. I've got the Mega Minion and the skeletons down to deal with this Mini P.E.K.K.A. Minions going down as well. A rage spell on top of the Golem, and this is where we start dealing some serious damage. Now that fireball was pretty bad. I guess I did get a little bit of value out of it, but now the raged Mega Minion, the raged Golem, they ran to the tower, taking it out, and that is going to be the third tower of the game going down right now. I don't even have a chance to talk about the second one because the graveyard spell is just punishing the very top of the map. And as his graveyard spell spawns, you can see my King Tower giving me the additional assistance that I needed to dominate that graveyard spell that he had played. So 3 crowns, very nice battle right there. Let's go ahead and hop into one more using this deck. I'm actually bringing the miner for this one. Again, anything that can tank for your graveyard spell is how you want to assemble your deck. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this miner right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw that down right now. I also brought the minion horde, which I feel like is an effective counter to the graveyard spell. It just actually works out pretty well. The miner is going to do work. Take a look at the graveyard spell, still spawning and still destroying that tower. It's going to go all the way down to 0 again. A single push with the miner and the graveyard spell means a tower for me. And take a look at my minions. The minion horde actually is effective against the graveyard spell, keeping the tower protected, and just like that, everything's going to be gone. My minions will take that musketeer low enough to where 1 or 2 shots will kill her and results in not much damage onto my tower. So finally, we found a card that works well against the graveyard, which is going to be the minion horde. Let's go and start with the witch in the back and to get ready for another push. Again, Galadon and I played for like maybe an hour, just trying out different cards that work, trying out different troll decks, just finding out what was effective. And honestly, it requires a lot of skill on the player. There isn't a card that just perfectly counters it, in my opinion. If you play the log too early, then it's not going to work out well. If you play things like the poison spell, it doesn't always kill it right away. There's just so many ways to play against the graveyard spell, and you have to make sure that you play it right, or else you will meet your eventual demise. And he's going to go ahead and play his graveyard spell on defense, but I think my tower should be enough to take all of these skeletons out before they get any damage onto the tower. All right, well, Hog Rider's going to go down. It looks like he's got his Fire Spirits as well. Those are going to dominate my guards. I waited to play my Minion Horde to make sure that his guards didn't absolutely just wreck, or his Fire Spirits didn't just wreck my Minion Horde as well as my guards, only taking out the guards instead. Now that he has the Poison spell, it will end up taking my Minion Horde out, but take a look at my Mini P.E.K.K.A getting 2 swings off on the tower. That tower's down to 554 HP, and you guys know it's time for the miner and the graveyard combo. All right, things are looking good. I've got the hang of the deck by now. Let's go ahead and drop our miner onto the tower in just a moment. I'll actually drop it on the king tower and get things started over there. Let's do that. Let's do the graveyard down right now. The miner's going down. The miner's going to tank both of those towers. Guards are going down. I'm just throwing everything that I've got. Again, we weren't too serious with these battles. We were just having fun. Fireball's going to blast every single troop that he has. The Valkyrie even is going to take a little bit of damage as well. 44 seconds left. Just a little bit of time we have to defend this left-hand side. I'll play the minion horde. I'll play the log. The log is going to clear the fire spirits and those skeletons before they can even do anything. So really good value for that. The minion horde's going to clean up everything else. Let's drop the miner onto the tower. His poison spell will kill my minion horde, but that means we're going to go for the kill and drop our miner as well as that graveyard. All right, guys, that is going to do it for most of this graveyard gameplay. You guys can see just how effective the things are. Miners or guards and the skeletons in the graveyard are just going to keep knocking stuff out. Minion horde's going to go down as well. Fireball will clean this one up as his graveyard spell goes down, and that is going to do it for this game. I hope you guys like the graveyard. Personally, for me, it's such a fun card to play. I think the animations are cool, and it's a really cool card. I'm worried about its power, that it might be a little bit too powerful, but we'll have to see what happens as people adjust against it. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the graveyard spell in the comment section below. I will be playing with it tomorrow and trying to find it inside of some chests on my main account. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.